Londoners have made a huge contribution to our city's success. From helping to rebuild London after the Second World War to keeping our NHS and public services running. That's why this Black History Month I want to thank Black Londoners not only for supporting us all through this pandemic, but for the central role you've played in making our city the greatest in the world. Black History Month is a fantastic chance to reflect on the many achievements of Black communities, but it's also an important opportunity to take stock and to acknowledge just how much further we have to go to secure racial justice. As the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on our minority communities has shown, our society is still scarred by deep racial inequalities that must be tackled. And as Mayor, I'm committed to doing exactly that, as well as building a future free from racism, ignorance, and discrimination. A future where Black history and how it's shaped our city and society is understood, not absent, and where Black lives matter.
How we doing, guys? Myself, Chrispreddie OBE, hitting you with a quick one. Real Talk True Season. Now, I just played the video of Sadiq Khan doing his little speech on the 1st of October. It's dead. Not good enough. Not good enough. I don't care how much things that you want to say about Black people have done and we thank you and Black Lives Matter and this and that and what you've done for us. No, what? Where's the payback? Where's the payout then? Everyone's got their payout, but no one's getting their payout. And what, we're still seeing Black people being killed on the streets. We're still seeing knife crime. We're still seeing that the fact that we're being marginalized. We are 2% of a human being. 2/3, of a human being. That's what they see us in. Well, they don't even see us as a human. But you want to talk about how much we've done, how much Black people have done. Nah, it's not good enough, big man. Not good enough. And the fact that we can sit there and look at him and be like, right, like, do you know what? All right, cool, say, he said a few words. Nah, it's not good enough. It's not good enough in the facts of how we need to be able to develop, how we be able to grow, how we're able to understand that every single race, and this is not an attack to any race, don't ever get it twisted. I'm just talking facts. So if you don't like it, miss me with any comments that you feel like what you got to say, yeah? I'm saying there is many races that are able to develop, able to marginalize themselves in the sense of like getting their culture together. But when it's us, when it's Black people, we don't own nothing. We don't have no ownership. We don't own anything. We always are the workers. We're always the one that are entertaining. And this is just facts. I don't want to hear it. When a Turkish man comes over and he can't even speak English or whatever, man's got a sweet shop. Man's got a Turkish shop. Man's sending us chips and everything. Man's been able to develop and do his thing. Is that us on the sense of our community? Or is that in the sense of we need to look at the system on the sense of how much they suppress certain other communities? There's many other communities. The Chinese, the Asian. You got the Asian man with the Asian man with the sweet shop. Nah, he's nice. Chinese people with the Chinese shop. The ones there, they got their thing. Chinatown and rare tear. Got the white people developing, bankers, rare. How many bankers do you know that Black-owned banks? How many Black-owned solicitors? How many Black-owned businesses and developers and construction? How many Black people do you know that own that? Or how many Black people do you know that work for them? And sometimes, if not, more educated than the others. So my whole question is, it's not even an attack to everybody, but I feel like it's an embarrassment to even sit there and say that we appreciate Black people so much, but then we're the ones that marginalize so much, and we're the ones that are doing so much within their system in the sense of giving back. Being that person that says to, you know, you got to be the bigger person in this kind of situation. Like, we never clap back. It's funny how everyone's always talking about Black people in a negative way, but it's funny how we don't do nothing negative to anybody race, to anybody. But what's seemed as the worst is, oh, Black people stab, Black people kill, Black people rob, Black people do this. But hold on a minute. What everyone's forgetting about what England done and wrapped up nearly 60% of the whole population on some brutal thing. That's not mad. Okay, cool. Say no more. We're going on like there's certain systems and certain corporations that are just running through communities, running through areas, running through countries, just draining their resources like we don't know, making war of destruction. Korea, all of them men are arguing, but yeah, let's talk about how Black people are the main condominator of everything. That's mad. So we're the ones that kill people, we're the ones that shoot people, and all the rest of it, but no one's talking about where the guns come from. No one's talking about, okay, if they are shooting people rare, who's monopolizing the market right now? Who's doing this? And then you've got the newspaper that will feed and drive the narrative. We all know we're 2%. 2%, or well, let's just raise it to 3%. 3% of the whole population in UK. 3%. But you would think that there is like 98% of black people and we're all just running around on some mad thing. It's funny that. You go up to Glasgow, bare white people stabbing bare white people. No one says anything. Irish people blowing up stuff and rare. No one doesn't really say anything. Asian man running around doing their thing, chopping and stabbing man in the roadside, and no one don't really say anything. Soon as black people, soon as a black boy, soon as Stormzy and Chipmunk beef, soon as something like that happens, that's when everybody gravitates towards it. That's when everybody's like, yeah, we want to, but no one doesn't understand to take the time out to invest in that understanding and say, do you know what? It's true, you know, them lot definitely don't have a playing level field. Definitely they have to work harder. Definitely they don't have anything to be able to mobilize themselves. Let's think about our lifestyle. Let's think about the way that the government swooped in the sense of, giving us council housing and all the rest of it, taking away your understanding and your rights to be able to buy, thinking that they're doing you a favor. Now that we don't have no disability, now that we don't have no housing, now that we don't have no property, we're looking at our young children to pay for our life. How many parents are sitting there saying, my son's going to be a footballer, my daughter's going to be a gymnast, they're going to buy mommy a house, they're going to buy daddy this. How dare you? Shame on you. Shame on you that the fact that we as people have sort of like allowed ourselves to be westernized through the system and now sitting there waiting for someone else to give you handouts. I think it's embarrassing. I think it's a shameful thing. I think it's a thing that we have to look at both sides of the coin. I'm not saying there's not ignorant people with demanding with the bezel and the 50 bags when they can invest that 50 bags. But if they've never been able to have that process and that structure, if they're never going to be able to walk to a developer or to walk to a shop owner or to walk to the place to be able to buy a shop and not get it because you're black, what do you want them to do? When someone throws certain things at you and you feel like, raw, like, I've never been mobilized to be taught how to get myself a property, how to get myself a business, how to get myself a restaurant. Because we suppress these communities and make them feel like this is the only way that you need to do it. You go and get your chain, you go and get your bling and still live in a council housing and that makes you think that you're rich? That makes you think that you're woke? It's crazy, man. It's funny how in school they teach you 1 + 1 is 2. But in university and in these private schools, 1 + 1 is what? 3. 1 + 1 could be 1. It's just the way you're looking at it. I just thought I'd break that down. But I said, Sadiq Khan, not good enough. Myself.
Welcome to Unapologetic. Here are our services. The Village, an online community. You Good, online support for men. Big Sis, online support for women. Be part of the unapologetic conversation. Join us today at www.weareunapologetic.co.uk.